Hey guys, today I am making shish barak. So I have 3 cups of all-purpose flour and we're gonna make the dough first. So 3 cups of all-purpose flour in my bowl. I'm gonna do a teaspoon of salt and we're gonna add in 1.5 cups of water. And that's it. You don't need no yeast or anything else. It's very, very simple. 1 cup, and we're gonna do 1 more half, and then we're just going to mix it up until the dough forms. I just like to use my hands. They are washed, and I'm using cold water. Very, very simple. So I'm just gonna combine this until the dough forms. So the dough came together nicely. Now I'm just going to cover it and move it to the side. We'll get started on the meat. Okay, so now I have 2 pounds of ground beef with some parsley and onion ground in. I bought it like that, but if you'd like, you could just put them in the food processor and add it to your ground beef. I have a teaspoon of salt, and I'm going to do a 1/2 teaspoon of black pepper. I'm gonna do some cumin, about a 1/2 teaspoon of cumin, and I'm gonna do 1 teaspoon of mixed spice. You could use mixed spice, 7 spice, whatever you have. And I like adding in a dash of curry powder, just a tiny bit. I love adding curry to everything. Now I'm gonna go ahead and combine this before I put it on the stove. Preheat my pan with some olive oil. So here it is, all mixed up with the seasoning and the parsley and the onion. Now I'm just going to cook it in a teaspoon of olive oil. And once it's cooked, I'll taste it. If it needs more seasoning, I can always add. But I like to start with just a little bit so I can get it all fully incorporated before I cook it. And then just taste it and see if I want more. Just gonna cook it through on high heat and break it out. I have some pine nuts and a little bit of vegetable oil that I'm just toasting over high heat. And with these, you just wanna make sure that you you mix them pretty constantly so they don't burn. Guys, the heat wasn't on. I'm like, why isn't anything happening? Jeez, what a blonde moment. So I just tasted it and it's perfectly seasoned. I'm not gonna add anything else. My pine nuts are toasted. As you can see, I just put them on a paper towel to drain the excess oil. Once I cut the heat from here, I'm just going to mix in those toasted pine nuts, and the filling is fully cooked. I'm just like breaking it. I don't want like any large chunks. Sorry, the phone is fogging. It's just easier to stuff them if there aren't any big pieces. Now that the filling is done, the dough is made, now we get to make the dumplings. So my table has been scrubbed. I just lightly floured it. I've got my pan here with a little bit of flour, my rolling pin, and I'm keeping the flour close by in case I need more. So now I'm going to take just half of this dough and start rolling it thin. Beautiful, the dough is so soft. I wish I had 2 hands. Okay, I'm gonna get this rolled out, and you just want to flour your hands, so put a little bit of flour and just get this rolled out. Okay, I have my dough rolled out. Now I have this cup. You can use whatever size you want. I like making them a little bit bigger because it's just faster. I don't want to be doing this all day. So you just cut your little circles just like this. You can see how thin they are. And this is what we're gonna stuff. So I'm gonna just get my circles cut out. All the circles cut out, and I just remove the excess. We're gonna re-roll this out, but for now I'm just gonna put it back in the bowl and keep it covered. All right, you guys. I know this is like awkward. You're totally leaning against a bag of flour. All right, so I'm gonna take my circles. I just put them in my hand just like this. I got a little bit of the filling put right in the center. Just a little, you don't want to overstuff. And then you're going to close it like a half moon. And just sure that the edges close. Then you're going to take the two ends, pinch them together, just like that. It almost looks like tortellini, little tortellini. And we're just going to put it on our flour lined sheet. And I'll show you guys one more right in the center of my hand. Take a tiny bit of the filling right in the middle. I did mix in the pine nuts, I think I told you guys. Half moon, and then pinch the ends together to make your little tortellini. So I'm gonna get these guys done. So I finished all of the dumplings, and this was like the end of the dough, so I just made one big one. No big deal. Like, you can make them smaller, however you want. Now I have a huge mess to clean, and then we'll start on this. So in my blender, I have one full container of plain yogurt. It is a 32-ounce package of plain yogurt. And then I took the cup for the yogurt, this 32-ounce plain yogurt, and I filled it up with water and just put that in here. Now all I'm going to do is process this until it's fully combined. This is what it looks like, and now I'm just going to pour it into my large pot. Now I'm going to add in 1 pint of this yogurt drink. You can get this at any Arabic store. My regular grocery store actually has this, so you could check there too. It would be like in the dairy section. I'm gonna just add in the full pint, and then we're going to turn on the heat. And we're going to just kind of keep mixing this until it comes up. To add in my seasoning, I have 1/4 teaspoon of turmeric, 1/4 teaspoon of curry powder, 1/4 teaspoon of cumin, and 1/4 teaspoon of mixed spice. And I'm just gonna mix this until it comes up nice and hot. I like adding the turmeric for color. It just gives it a really, really pretty color. And basically I just added in everything we seasoned the meat with, just so that it all tastes the same. I'm using a whisk just to make sure I get all the seasonings uncrumped. You could see that pretty color it gave it, and we're just waiting for it to get hot. Now I'm gonna start putting in my dumplings that it's come to a nice soft boil. You can see that pretty golden color, and I don't want to just dump them all in at once because I don't want this to splash. So let me get these guys in. So now I have this over just medium heat. I got all the dumplings in, and it's okay if they stick in the tray. You just want to try and close them back up. Like a couple of them opened a little bit. That's okay, no big deal. I actually like to top it with a little bit of the extra meat and the pine nuts. I do have some extra meat. I could have made some more and kept going, but this is more than enough for us. So now all I'm going to do is get my garlic. I have some olive oil in my pan. I'm just adding in 10 cloves of crushed garlic. I'm going to saute these till they're golden brown and then add them. So this is my favorite part. It smells so good. Now I'm going to take my garlic and put it right in. Get that stirred. Smells amazing. You can see the soup has thickened up, and that's from the flour that was on the dumplings. I'm just gonna let this go for about 5 more minutes, and it is ready. Got one of the big guys and broke it open.
Deliciousness in the making.
And we're gonna just taste it and make sure it's delicious. It's delicious. Don't take my word for it. Take Daniel's.
But it needs more soup.
Well, yeah, there's none in here.